We're back, ladies and gentlemen. And, well, hope everything's alright here. And we're doing Oddworld Stranger's Wrath. You want to talk old school, man? This is a game that has, most people don't really talk about. Let me put Stranger, let's see. Hackneyed, yes. But yeah, it's this here. Done. Alright. Oh, you have it. I'm gonna beat it. That's cool. Oh, wait a second. Let me just hold on. Let me just make this. It's embedded in the stream after 2 seconds. Supposedly it goes away. Alright. Supposed to all the stuff was to go away, so alright, let me just copy this and make sure this is actually going to be in the let me edit this thing in, make sure all let's see, properties, and there we are. There we are. Hopefully it'll start this stuff will start getting away. So, all right, boom. But anyway, let's get into this, and hopefully everything. Well, it looks like, look at this. It actually is more better. I don't get this. The Xbox, which is older than the Wii U, it's older than the Wii U, ladies and gentlemen. This is older than the Wii U, and yet it does. This stuff here runs so much better. Weird. And by the way, I've never played the Oddworld games. Thanks for sticking around, Eden One. You're awesome. Shuttle. This is interesting. Well, looks like, well, ooh. And this is very interesting, as it's so much of a departure from these the original Oddworld games and such. And I understand why people did not like it. I can say, like, oh, how can you, it's such a departure. But it is something, again, if this is going to be in your own universe and such, so you got to put things that are not a part of that universe, that sort of thing. That's weird. I didn't. Alright. It's just, I don't know, because it did work. It worked once upon a time. I think maybe it's just because something happened. I don't know. That's one way to take someone down. Well, I'll take your word for it, because I've never. And sucked. Well, of course, you get more money and such. Well, that'd be interesting. Oh, I love the double jump because what other platformer, you know, what other platformer have, would not have a double jump? Kia Stairs and Kaya the Dark Language. Gosh, I like that game and I could stream it. I still have it, but I'm like, I'm at post on the Discord server. Oh, are you in? Let's see. You're on the I believe the Black Shepherd Games Discord. If not, that's awesome. Oh, you must have been a new guy then. How you doing? Hopefully you're doing well. But yeah, well, I have my own little Discord if you want to join it, and also you can come in and talk. On it via live stream. That's always nice. Nope, I didn't mean that. I meant to do that. I mean, gosh, sometimes it's always those platforms. It's always something. Cool. It's always the platformers. They always get you at the end of the day. I got this MagFest a year and like 2 years ago. Oh. And I didn't really play much of it, but this would be a good time to sit there and play it. Because I was planning to do a stream for it, but I didn't know how to do it. But since I have this nice HD connection cord.
Sup?
Oh, what's up, man? Let's see.
Yeah, 1 sec, because my internet isn't the best.
Oh, okay. Let me just see if you're coming in. Yep, you are. Good.
Sure.
Oh, you're good, man.
I'm doing fine. Alright, now it should be... Yeah, now I just muted the stream, so I'm not going to hear the game, but yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, people who are going to watch the recording.
Let me guess, you're not American. You're just the country.
Yeah, I'm European. I'm I already said on the Black Shepherd server, I'm French.
Oh, cool.
So yeah. Yeah.
All right. Hopefully you're having a good time there. Hopefully you'll listen to my stuff. And my Discord is nice, and see if I can just put this right here and see. Yep, right there, perfect. And first, third, and there's other people there. Also, there's nice other stuff there. If you want to go to Discord, there's a sports thing there, pro wrestling stuff there. We're gonna add more stuff in the pro wrestling soon. So.
I'm not much into wrestling per se. I love fighting. I love watching people fight. I don't know. I always enjoyed watching not people beating each other up, but more like the way they move and the way it's. I guess the adrenaline you can get.
Yeah, that type of stuff. You like to see how they are. Just how they work, how the wrestling stuff, which is fun. It's good and fun. I always like looking at that stuff too, but it's also storytelling and how the
the setup and how people because a lot of people so we're going to talk about the notion of context in fight, but how we like to say that wrestling is like acting, which is not untrue, but at the same time, when someone puts his a lot of effort and a lot of his being into something, you can see there's a charisma, a charm behind, and it's not just on the aspect of like how someone is efficient in fighting, because otherwise you just watch MMR, and I mean fights in there, I watched some and they are pretty they're different. I'm not going to say anything biased, but they are different and a lot less romanticized, I guess you could say.
Yeah,
Because yeah,
we're talking about MMA, right?
MMA, it's not MMA. MMA. I never make the difference because I'm a bit of not newcomer, but I'm not exposed enough to these sports, so I can mess up.
That's okay. That's fine. You know, we all start at the the small bottom end, and then you get back
Yeah,
to you get we all start
used
small.
to
We
it.
get it,
You
and
get
such
used to
like
it.
that. Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, all the stuff in wrestling and everything. And by the way, people, I need to update the Dukes. I need to put that on the Discord as well. Blaze podcast and such. I need to put that up there as well. So, can I? Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I am
Don't
basic.
worry. Don't worry. I watch the stream at the same time. I can see that you're going to get used to it because I watch a lot of people
Hmm.
at first in the first time they when they are speaking, myself included. When I was speaking with other people, I ended up messing around in the game rather than while trying to focus on what was being said and what I'm trying to say. So yeah,
Hmm.
it's a matter of getting used to it.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
yeah. I know, but I feel like I don't want to get the whole live stream being stuck on here. Wouldn't be a fun live stream if I'm stuck in one area. So I need to.
Mm.
Okay. Nope, 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 nope. Oof. There it is. Oh goodness, this is gonna drive people in. Let's see what else. Let's see if I can get into this area, but I see I
Yeah.
can't.
Let's
All right, let me.
let's try to. How about we try to keep a focus on the game itself, about Oddworld,
Hmm.
if you want, maybe.
Besides, worst things worse, I can always go to. I'm just gonna go on the YouTube and see how they got out of it. Because hey, why not? It's not cheating. It's just basically it's not cheating.
Oh, you're also streaming on YouTube.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I have to
Uh,
bounty him. That's why. Okay, let me just bounty him then. Let me just find him. The dude, where is he? Okay, let me just bounty him. I'm pushing B and it's not working. Oh, it's X. Ah. Okay, X. There you go. It was X.
at first I thought you were mentioning like how I messed up a little bit, but yeah, now I understand what you did. Okay.
Yeah, I'm stream.
Uh,
I do restream. I stream on like multiple stuff. I streamed on YouTube, on
mm,
Twitch, also on Mixer, which is working hopefully, and
mm.
not only let's see, okay, stick here. Let's see, peer down. Also on Periscope, which is just that it's so much fun to do that because it's so many people across the planet actually watch this stuff. Furthest I
Mm.
got actually was I believe some Chinese people on Periscope was watching this, which is amazing.
Uh-huh.
And let's
I
see.
was expecting a Chinese website to be good to do a stream on it, but okay, that's nice to hear.
Okay, oh that's it. Oh, knockout. And sloopity doop. There it is. And there we are.
The thing is now, since I have the audio, I have either I gotta use the audio of the stream itself, or I use the audio from here on the Discord server, and it kind of mixes up things on my side because I hear you reacting to the game, but I still don't see what's happening in the game. So I
oh,
have no idea
oh yeah,
anything.
that's the issue. You can use the stream, but also you can
Hmm. But personally,
um
I don't have a lot of issue with it. So the only thing is that when if I notice something, I'm just not going
yeah, don't
to
worry. Yeah, I'll
notice
tell
on the
you.
moment.
And technically, I could put the stream thing and have like people watch it there, but I don't want to overly strain my computer. So I'm like, I just
Hmm.
like okay, press the B button. Okay, remove audio clip. But yeah, this game here
Hmm.
is very I'll say this is again something right out of the Oddworld. I think the Oddworld branding hurt this. I know it's.
Hmm.
I think that's what the problem was. Is that the Oddworld, thing, pretty much hurt the. Just I think it hurt this.
I have no idea how people reacted to it, so, but I don't know because in comparison, when I see this compared to, I'm fairly young. I'm like in my early 20s, so my perspective compared to most people is not common, I guess. But as far as I'm concerned, when I see this compared to the remake that came out, if I can say remake, that came out recently that you can get like in recent consoles on PS4 or
I
Xbox
hear
One,
it's actually coming
etc.
out on the Switch soon. So.
Yeah, well, this version of the original Old World, from what I've seen in comparison to the original Old World, is very bad. It's not good graphically. I'd say stylistically in its graphics, and even in terms of game feel. When you move, when you have to do certain things in the game, it's not as good as in the original. From
Ooh.
what I've seen.
So it's basically what happened with how you say the Silent Hill.
I guess, yeah, but even then, like, I think it even uses a completely different engine, but I'm not sure of that. Like, it's made by the same people. It's very weird. It's very weird. Like, you have the same people behind the original game, but it's a bootleg version of the original game, if you want, basically. To sum it up, it's very strange. It's very strange. So yeah,
And I just
I
punch
can.
somebody off I just punch someone off because why not?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I think it's just weird. Sometimes they get it, sometimes they don't. I don't know what it's a weird thing about game remasters. I heard the Legend of K one, which I heard the old school PS2 game is actually really um you know I heard it's actually pretty decent.
You mean like the sequels to Legacy of Kain Blue Domain?
No, I'm talking about Legend of K, a PS2 platformer with a cat as your. It's that sort of weird type of thing, and you should look it up. I heard the remaster is pretty good, but the PS2 game is a solid platformer. I did a review of it like a year ago. It's one of those forgotten PS2 platformer
You,
games.
you meant like the game where you playing Kain
No,
in
no,
a
not
sort of.
Legacy of Kane. It's Legend of K. It's
Oh, Legend of Kain. I'm trying to remembering because it sounds familiar, but I have no idea what's the game. Crap, what is it? Legend of Kain. It reminds me of that name. There's a game based on a Japanese fiction. I don't know if it was a manga or an anime or whatever, called the D, about a vampire called that's named D, and it's the protagonist of the story. And there's a game who also
mm.
adapted on that,
Oh
and
yeah,
it's about
that.
the
Oh,
vampire.
I played that stuff here. Let me just if you want to look at it, it's it
I'm
says right.
looking up Legend of
Um,
K. You said on PS2?
yeah, it was originally a PS2 game, but it recently had a remaster, which it seemed people.
Oh, yeah, that game. I bought it. Got it. I have no idea how it is. I tried it quickly.
It's a solid platformer,
Yeah.
and well, solid platformers are fine, but they're just not. You know what I mean? You're like,
Once you finish it, like it gets boring afterwards. Think something like that.
hmm.
You don't know?
Yeah, it's a when I play games like that, I just like, it's I always sit there and I'm like, I want to just say when you play games like that, platformers, it needs to have that replayability, but
Mm,
it
mm.
yeah sometimes it doesn't have that replayability. It's just like, man, it's just
Yeah, I think were you there when the Black Shepherd stuff, I'm going to say like that, streamed when Big Chief and the other people streamed Final Fantasy X. You were there?
no.
Uh,
So no.
because they mentioned that at some point there was, I think, Tiara, who mentioned that like how the aspect of replayability. I think
Hmm.
it was her, and then I kind of jumped on her what she said. Yeah, I jumped on a girl, but I bounced on what she said, and she said that like
Oh.
something about how when the game ends, RPG like Final Fantasy X, once you finish the game, you don't have any real replay value. And I said something about how it's really sad because on the other hand, you have the combat in Final Fantasy X that's decently crafted. It's well-rounded and all that. You have a good you have a good aspect of strategy that gets completely destroyed once you gain all of the bonus content.
Hmm. That's just problem
And
with
yeah,
most games is that it's hard to find a good chance to sit there and to replay them.
yeah. There are games where even if you don't have a good replay value, it's basically that, it's replay value. Um, for example, which one? There's Infamous 2, I guess, I have in mind because Infamous 1 was alright, but at some point the gameplay gets a bit just shallow compared to sequel anyway.
Yeah.
Infamous Second Son 4 is really something else. I'm not even going to compare it compared to the originals because it's something else. And I don't really recommend Second Son in the first place, but that's another subject in itself. There's also Gravity Rush. Gravity Rush, or Gravity Days if you use the original name. Um, there's no really new game plus per se, but on the other hand, it's fun to just mess around in the game
Yeah.
due to its concept. It's really particular, especially in the sequel, Gravity Rush 2, because I finished the game. And what's happening is that sometimes it's very rare because there's no real replay value except if you want to like platinum the games or something, which I tend to do if I really like the game. But Gravity Rush 2, you can keep on playing because there's some sort of dungeon crawling aspect in it implemented in the game where you can keep on dwelling in these stages, randomly generated stages. Well, I say randomly generated, but not really randomly. But anyway, they are more like set pieces, but with increased difficulty and increased amount of enemies and such. So yeah, there's technically a replay value in the game, but only on that aspect. Because when it comes to the story itself, for example, there's also the Jack and Daxter games.
Oh yeah,
No,
Jack and Daxter that has that type of. I played all. I haven't played all of them. I played the first one. I loved it, and even though it's generic
mm,
and completely totally generic and such, but it was so revolutionary. Got the PS2 version back in 2002. I was amazed. I mean, amazed on how just how just amazing how that how it worked. There was no just there was like, oh, no loading screens, which is wow.
yeah. that was the point of the first game, and even they tried to keep it in the trilogy itself.
Yeah, but then again, I did not
Yeah,
like. I played Jack 2 and I hated it. I thought it was probably one of
it
the
it
worst
is, it
games
is
of
a
all
lot.
time.
It is the
It's
hardest one to get behind,
it
and
is so edgy. It's trying so hard to be edgy, and I'm like, you know, you could say this game suffers that as well because again, you come from this like noble type of creature who's saving his race and culture and all these type of things,
well,
and
yeah,
then you
yeah.
have this.
Once you know the spoiler alert, that's something that you kind of discover at the end of the game. But yeah, well, in the middle of the game, I'm not sure anymore. I know about the story of Stranger's Wrath, but
Yeah,
not most people do. So,
yeah, it's
but
just
yeah,
weird to see that type of when you have a hero. Again, it just looks like when you're in that world and seeing what is going on and all that type of stuff. It's when you see what happens in the end of the game, which I haven't gotten to, but yeah. Um, mm. And everything like that.
you meant Stranger's Wrath or Jack and
Stranger's
Daxter 2?
Wrath.
Okay, okay, because I kind of got mixed up there.
Alright,
Yeah.
so yeah. Oh, let's see.
The For some reason also when I watch the gameplay of Stranger's Wrath, it reminds me of Rayman 3, not Rayman 2 here. Also, Rayman 2 was also kind of edgy, like you said. I don't really use the term edgy because it's polarizing, but yeah, I guess it's a recurrent term to describe stuff like that.
Yeah, it can be to the point of trying to say, oh my gosh, this thing is gonna be so great. I mean, it connected, and I get what they're trying to do. You want to show oh my gosh, this character is serious and important. And we're doing with serious topics, but when it does, it comes off as so much try hard. It's so
Yeah,
try hard to a
when
point you're
it's
just like,
forced, it's typically the kind of thing. Yeah, when it's forced, it can be more of a detriment rather than a force, rather than an advantage.
yeah,
So yeah, it depends. Like for example, when you take the game Shadow the Hedgehog,
oh lord.
this game was bashed and is kept being bashed for what it tried to do. Even though it had some interesting ideas. For example, in the stages, you can teleport in certain points, in certain sections of the stages. That's a good idea. There was also the notion of like making different endings, but it tried just way too much endings and just in a way too convoluted way.
Well, it's got a demo.
It's typical of what we tend to argue to I guess bash or just criticize Sega about is that they try to do too much stuff, to cram too much stuff into something, and at times it works. Okay, so I'm going to be a bit of controversial, but at times it worked with games like Sonic Unleashed, because I'm sorry, that's a very good game. Sonic Unleashed was very decent in its execution and overall quality. Fight me on that, anyone. And meanwhile, you have like cases like Shadow of the Hedgehog, which was poorly made overall. Yeah, I cannot disagree on that, because even if I enjoy certain ideas in it, it's like Sonic 06, Sonic 2006, the famous game that got released on PS3 and Xbox 360, and which is branded as the worst Sonic game. It's not for no reason. It is validly
I mean, I look at Shadow the Hedgehog and the swearing and stuff isn't it's wrong, but the way they did it is like you have to do all this fetch quest to get the one ending, then the other
well, yeah,
ending, and
yeah,
then
because there is this mentality of trying to cram a lot of things in the game instead of making a basis and then polishing it up. And it's even worse when you take a case like Sonic 06, because the game actually was made for PS2, and then they had to, and we all know how it tends to go. Just look at Final Fantasy 15. You try to convert it to another console, on a whole brand new system and all of that with different hardwares, with different stuff. So yeah, the games like that on top of that aspect, and they don't have a solid basic blueprint crammed into it. Well, you get cases like a Snake 06 or in a more or in a less worst case scenario, Shadow the Hedgehog. So yeah, so that's the thing. But and the thing is, it's kind of it deserves it. Don't get me wrong, it deserves all that bashing. In all honesty, but at the same time, when you look at how now every other games from the Sonic franchise gets bashed, it's just too bad. I can't really say anything else. It's just too bad. It's a waste because you got cases like Second Unleashed that got bashed for no reason, even though it was decent. It was very good, especially for a first time thing. There was what was the next one? It was not Colors. It was Colors or something else. I forgot.
No.
I forgot. Anyway, I think it was Colors then, which was praised as a good thing. Which I guess, I mean, it was a good filler game, but nothing else. Then there
Yeah.
was Generations. There was Generations, which was a nice nostalgia trip. And then we got Forces, which is just crap. It's shallow crap. It's just the crappy filler of any random American series you can get that no one wants to watch but does because it's good for spending time. That's it.
And
That's
there I
Sonic
do. I just
Forces.
murdered them. That's one way to take
Mm.
out some villains. But anyway, I think we look at Sonic and seeing how well it was. I mean, Sonic Colors, and I think you can do a good Shadow the Hedgehog game. But I think the problem is that again, you have to know what type of. There was supposedly the gunplay, but again, I look at it as
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's
The gun was there was the gun, for example, that was they wanted to put that certainly because Shadow was some kind of military project, but
yeah, it was
like
like
it's useless. He doesn't need that for. I mean, he goes at the speed of sound. He doesn't need that. So yeah, he even had yeah.
that doesn't make any sense for him. It's trying to see to be he wants to be this rebel or renegade. I think that's the issue, and I also think the reason why this stuff started and such because they wanted to do something. I mean, that was the era of Sonic being so rushed and so trying to be like, oh, we need to be this edgy, this, that, third. I'm like, nah, you
I
don't
think
need to
it
be
was
that way.
because it's the trend at the time. I'm not sure anymore. I remember at the time, like I said, I'm rather young. I'm 20, so compared to most people anyway about these matters. So
Yeah.
at the time, I was still like a teenager when it happened, and I recall that there was a trend of edgy stuff. Like for example, there was a Ratchet and Clank game, Gladiator. How is it called? Deadlock, I think it
Oh
was
yeah,
called in the
Deadly.
US.
Oh yes. Ratchet
There
and
was
Clank, but yet they did it a lot more. It was more of the themes there. It fit more into. It was a little edgy,
yeah,
but it was like still had a lot
it
of
was
fun.
well made. It
It
was
was well
there
made
was
and was a lot of fun actually. And
yeah.
you should. It's something you if you can find it, you would. I think most people will enjoy that game.
Yeah, the thing is, I have to point out for that it's mainly because it's kind of funny because it goes back to how I mentioned that Sega tries too much to always cram different things into one thing instead of polishing the basic blueprint. And it was kind of the similar thing when you take Ratchet and Clank 3 because Ratchet and Clank 3 was average. I'd say it's still a good Ratchet and Clank game in itself, but as a game, it was very average. When you take how it was more focused on the aspect of how should I put this? You know how you have an arena with tons of enemies going towards you, and it was like some kind of mini game that was Ratchet and Clank 3, and you can tell that this experience helped them making Ratchet Deadlock.
Yeah, it
So
was more action oriented, and
yeah, basically, yeah, there was more of the action-oriented aspect rather than the platformer aspect.
yeah, and
So
and
yeah,
they knew how to make it work. That is something
yeah,
that the series really did a good job of. But when
mm,
I look at, say, for example, just series that just don't get it, they just rush into it. Jack pretty much was that. I mean, Jack and Daxter was that, and I hate that because I know I mean, Naughty Dog wanted to do something interesting with the character. They could have done something more interesting and build something up in that world. Just because don't want to do PG or whatever doesn't mean you can be, you
oh, you
know.
meant, yeah, on that aspect. Yeah, I see what you mean. Honestly, yeah, I can understand because it is polarizing. Yeah, you like or you're not, and it's when these aspects are not something you're going to like, they're going to break the game for you. So I empathize on that aspect because actually got a sort of. Nah, it's not really the same thing, so I'm not going to mention it. But I can empathize on with it. But
Yeah.
when you take then Jack and Daxter 3, um, you have that satisfying conclusion that melds everything together. That's why I think that Jack 2 is considered the lowest compared to the trilogy. Usually it's like the lowest is Jack 2, the average one per se it would be 3, and the best one would be 1. Most of people are like that anyway. Personally, I like Jack 3 the most, but that's mostly due to a nostalgia aspect. Otherwise, if I had to, I need to replay the trilogy as a whole to make an actually constructive opinion on that. But yeah, uh, the case of Jack is actually can every cases are rather peculiar because let's see another case. Try to see in my head. Well, yeah, I mentioned Infamous. Infamous Second Son.
Oh,
The
I've
reason why.
never. I played the first Infamous. Good stuff. First and second, good stuff. But I think that's the issue is when you have like that stuff, which
Mm,
I feel like it could have been a lot more. It's like, man, this game could be a little bit more. I'm then again, that's just me. I'm like, you ever heard of the cartoon series called Static Shock? That to me was infamous, and I'm like, y'all could have just made a Static Shock game. I mean, that's just
I mean,
me. I'm like, then again, I don't know what Warner Brothers is doing. Oh, no, 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 nope, wrong one. But
it,
Warner
it wasn't.
Brothers
It
could
wasn't.
have just licensed to them, make a Static Shock game, and make bank, which I don't know why
Um,
they don't, but that's another
yeah.
issue.
Actually, it's kind of, I guess, a running thing with Sucker Punch, the dev team behind Infamous, because in the first place they made well, actually, they made another game before the Sly franchise,
Oh
but
yes,
anyway,
it
there was
had so
there was.
much. I love that franchise, even though the third one is
Hmm?
it's a little bit. There's some disappointments in the third one. Oh,
The third one, I don't know. I think it was
yeah, some
very well.
gameplay stuff was not
The
good.
only, the only nitpick, I guess, we could maybe point out personally anyway. I guess we can say that was not good with it would be how you had a lot of skills, but you had to grind in it in order to obtain the skills. You had to obtain all of these tools. And in slide 2, there wasn't that aspect. too much. There was also the aspect of how some characters, because you had more characters in Slave 3, and there was different aspect. There was more like filler content, and some was good, some was decently implemented, but on certain aspect it was more like I see that you are struggling against the
No,
not
I'm
trying
good
to.
now. I'm actually pretty good. See, I'm getting used to this stuff here.
Yeah,
That's what,
I said
Oh,
struggling
uh oh,
but
no,
more like
getting a little back into struggling territory now, but all right.
because
I
they're
like
going.
this method of just not healing yourself up by that match. Like you don't get like special stuff and everything, which
Mm,
I like that because it feels like you're responsible for your own health. You have
yeah,
to.
yeah.
You can't just say, oh, if I only
I
had
was
one
just
this
going to
thing
wait
here, but
there.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's actually something I wasn't expecting. I I'd like to see more games doing the same thing, implementing the more. I was about to say organic, but more like interactive way of taking care of your health. Because either you have the more archaic, I guess you could say,
Yeah,
like
it's
in
just like,
Doom.
but then again, if it's, I always say this, it has to fit within the game. It
Yeah,
has to make
yeah.
sure it's not like, oh, we just add this in just to be like,
Because it's the trend. Because that's how it is. It's video games.
hmm.
No,
Make
no,
sure it
I mean,
fits. It makes sure it fits into the world.
yeah. I mean, here, in Stranger's Wrath, you shake off the I don't know what's how it works. I think it's also explained due to its to the stranger's nature. I forgot what creature he is, but whatever. Because he regenerates, it's something specific to his species. But anyway, uh, yeah, he like shakes off. I don't know. But it's something. It's far better than like you take a Call of Duty or whatever, and you wait. You're human, and you wait behind
Hmm.
something in order to regenerate your
Yeah,
health. You,
yeah.
you got your leg cut off. You just wait. that's, that's okay. I'm exaggerating a bit, but yeah. So yeah. But yeah, to go back to basic topic, I
Oh
guess.
well,
When we were talking about the
the edginess and such,
yeah, edgy, how stuff gets edgy for nothing.
Uh,
But then you have cases like in the Infamous games I was about to mention. Infamous 1 and Infamous 2, they implemented the whole
ooh,
moral aspect,
nasty.
either being good or bad and such, and Infamous or that.
Yeah, infamy or hero being a hero.
Yeah.
Mostly when I play games like that, I am more of a hero
Mm.
because again, that's what my character. That's how I play in most games, and that's how my
And
that's how I am
that's
in
how I
life
do
and
too.
such. Is I
That's
just
how I do
can't
too.
be a I could try to be the oh my gosh, can you try to be the evil person? Yeah, I can, but like
There are
it's
some
not
there
fun.
are some
It's not
people
fun to be that.
there are actually some people I noticed that do this, but usually they do this because one, either they are not good in the game, or because it's easier, or you just don't care about what you shoot at, and you just ram all of your stuff, the grenades, the missiles, and all that into the crowd, and you
Oh
don't
dear.
care.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, you have people who actually tries to be more into the moral aspect if they can, like you and I. And that's the thing. That's actually something I really like because you can notice that there are people who actually most people when they can they try to do the good stuff, but when they cannot, they're just going
And
to
I
not
just
do it.
got the boss. Booyah.
I mean, the boss was just running in the wall, so it wasn't big of a deal.
Yeah, well, but I
Yeah,
guarantee you it will always get harder. It always gets harder, ladies and
it
gentlemen.
should. It
Yeah,
should.
that's it is. But the games I'm probably gonna be finish off. I'm gonna finish off definitely tomorrow if you're gonna be here tomorrow. Friday night live stream. I'm gonna be doing Jedi.
I'll
No,
try.
not Jedi, but Star Wars. Starfighter. I'm gonna see if I can get Laughing Man back into the fold again because we had a good time. Then I'm going to do
Mm-hmm.
it back on Monday. Hopefully by then my review of Shadow Dimension comes out. Then we're going to do continue on the Credible Hulk because I'm not watching Monday Night Raw because screw that. I'm not watching that.
Mm, mm,
I'm not gonna
mhm.
watch that. But then on the plan then after that is just play this instead. Ooh, hopefully everyone's
Taking
on
a
board.
wall in the head.
Yeah,
That's a recurrent thing. I remember how when I was younger, I was playing Tomb Raider, and it was a very recurrent thing when you get boom in the wall. That
yeah.
was
It's
yeah.
just stuff like this, and I look at the again playing games like this in the Xbox is nice. It's nice to play games that man, no people don't talk about no more. They like. They're like, man, I don't talk about this game. It's nice giving them a little bit of love,
That's actually I'm going to throw my 2 cents on that. It's actually more because you know how games they became more and more popularized and trendy per se. And what's happening is that you have like on one
Mm-hmm.
hand you have people who just go by the first thing they heard about and they don't know anything about video games, or they just don't care about video games in the first place. They just do it because it's the trend. Or you have people like you or I or the people in the Cheshire studio or Black Shepherd team, whatever you want to call. People like us, basically, who play games because they like games. They are passionate about it. They care about games in general and what's good. But thing is, you have games that tend to get obscured.
Well, like any
And
media and such. Any
yeah,
media does, games get, games
Eh,
movies, comic
mm,
books, albums, that sort of music, and any type of genre. There are films and
mm,
stuff like that. They just get, it's not
mm,
against them. It's just like they get a little bit, they don't get appreciated until,
mm.
heck, you look at I believe, John Carpenter's The Thing. They didn't like that. They did not like that when that first came out, actually.
That's true.
And now it's like one of the most.
Renowned yeah, references. Yeah, that's the thing. There's a bit of a vicious cycle because of how um, there's a lot of factors behind. First off, we have to take into account the environmental factor. For example, usually don't see productions like the ones we have here. We know about in let's say a country like say Russia or I don't know China. And these
Mm,
countries they are big, they are very big, and they have a lot of power and resources. But yet they don't do stuff like that. You know, you have little countries like Japan or I don't know England or of course the US, and there's a lot of people who make this stuff because they like. But then when you have to make something that works and that can get sold, that you can get a lot of numbers behind, because it goes back to the aspect of numbers, sadly, and profit and all that, and you have to keep yourself alive and the company. Well, it's a vicious cycle, and that's capitalism. And
yeah,
you,
there's a way to really to basically say the best ideas come
mm,
from the top and such, which is always a good thing.
it
And
varies. It
that,
varies. It depends on many things. That's the thing. When I said that we have like this good stuff from environments like Japan or England, or it's because or the US, of course. For the US, they took a lot of things. Like for example, take the God of War franchise, of God of War games, the original ones, not the. Actually, the remake reboot is kind of a good example of something that's a bit of a trend that we should avoid or at least try to discourage. But sadly, they won't get discouraged because the reboot that got Recently,
Reboots, always a
yeah,
thing, and
there's that aspect, but on top of that, these reboots they are not good compared to OGs. Or usually they are not good. And I'm telling you, the original, as someone who has grown with the original God of Wars, the new one is not something to play or buy or whatever. It's not worth it compared to the original ones. No matter,
sometimes, yeah.
yeah.
But I always look and say the best. Yep, I got that, and amount earned, bam.
Mm.
Yep, I got him
Y-
and captured alive. So, hey, that means we're getting more money. So, yep, yep, we're gonna keep going and keep grinding these bounties. Hopefully, I get something to use this money for. That's always
I
the.
mean, the money you're using for crafting something, for getting upgrades. No,
I
I
think
don't know.
that's what it is, but I can't. I don't know what triggers it. But yeah, that seems to be, you
I mean, in worst
know.
case scenario, you can pretend to go in the.
Oh, new items
Uh,
available. Finally, I think because of after the second mission, you can actually buy some items, which is nice. All right.
because I was about to say you could like try to pretend to be like a hardcore gamer in the eyes of the casuals, like say, see, I can do stuff like that, and you're going to build a fan base or something
Okay, I have.
like that.
I can't hold anymore. Let's see. There we
Um,
go. Honors, upgrades. Okay. More bowler match for you can.
I wonder if there is
All
like
right, there you
people
go. Boom.
who do not speedruns, even though it kind
Why
of.
do I have to buy binoculars? Okay, fine. I get that.
How do you call no grade? I guess runs. Yeah, like you do runs without any upgrades, just the basic stuff you have. I know it's a thing. There are channels, YouTube channels who does that.
Yeah, that sort of thing. But yeah, but you know the games that really not piss me, but you know, the games that like really get no type of respect are, you know, again games that came out way ahead of its time and such. You know, and they do. And the thing is, they say, "Oh, we can do remakes of it." No, you can't. The reason why you don't make remakes of these games is because the thing is because
They
you might
are
have a small audience.
products.
It's not going to get a bigger audience. It's not going to be like, oh my
It's
gosh,
more
he's
like
going to.
because they are products of their time, I guess you
Mm-hmm.
could say.
But then
Uh,
again, I would love to see remakes of like you know. Then again, the remakes of Crash and Spyro. That those are like you know that I think that's how you do it right.
mm,
Crash and Spyro and you know anything else. The medieval stuff, which I'm gonna probably get both Crash and Spyro, because man, those are my childhood right there. I am older than you, by
mm.
the way, my 30s. So yeah, I've
Yeah,
been around. So
there were match shadows too. Don't worry. But I think it's best you stick to Spyro because Crash actually, aside of like, if you already have the originals, I don't see any value
oh,
in getting the.
I like the original, just to see its comparison and stuff that I would like to stream eventually. Oh yeah.
I mean, you can do it if you invest in the game in order to have to developing a fan base. Yeah, there's that. That's something I myself think thought about doing, but in the first place, I need to get a better internet, which is not the case because my internet is too crappy to even make a decent resolution. But anyway,
Oh well,
um,
that
when
sucks.
yeah. I mean, I can stream, but the stream itself, if most people they don't like streams, they when they see that your stream is like crappy, they are not going to make you an exception compared to other people.
Yeah, I
That's the thing.
mean, it is you have to really be on top of the streaming and everything else. It's it's frustrating, but it is. And when you do get that nice internet, and not only that, good streaming software, and I really screwed up there. Bit of
Yeah.
spikes. Ouch. But yeah, try again
Why did you
soon.
why did you jump
I did
into it?
not see the spikes actually. I did not see it. I was like,
Because you see the target and I mean, you see something with a target, you shoot it.
I was like,
Target, shoot it. Don't think. But yeah,
yeah,
so
yeah.
yeah, that's the
It's
thing. That's competition, I guess you could say.
yeah, good
The competition on
competition,
the internet, but
and I'm happy for that. Personally, you know, ooh, I knocked some stuff down.
the only real problem is that some people like myself, they don't tend to cope with that well. And me, I'm rather lucky person in my personal situation,
Hmm.
but some of us they are not. And on top of that, you also need to be patient. And well, I mean, like just to give an idea, I streamed a game called Odin Sphere Left Razir. Odin Sphere, a game from the PS2. It got remade on PS3, PS4, and PS Vita. A lot of PS. And what happened is that when I was streaming the game, I was discovering it. And that game, Odin Sphere, the remake, actually I kind of fell in love with it due to how it is. And I literally played for like over 36 hours straight. 36 hours straight. Then I took a break. Then I kept streaming and I don't know how long. And then I
Uh,
collapsed, I guess, or something like that. Yeah.
yeah, you gotta
Just
make sure you have limits. I usually stream for at least a minimum for an hour,
mm,
and hour and then 30 minutes or so, hour or 2 hours.
mm,
Only time I streamed for 4 hours was like was actually Xenoblade Chronicles actually.
mm.
I streamed that for 4 hours because I couldn't do it once and such. I was like, oh, I missed some time streaming, so okay, I'm gonna do a get back for these people. Like those are people. I'm like,
Mm.
okay,
Mm.
we're gonna
I want
do
to make a
that
little
sort of
side
thing.
note. I haven't realized there's a bit of Metal Gear vibe behind the Stranger's Wrath there,
Hmm.
with self aspect. But yeah, that's just me. But yeah, and just to go back to what I said just before, on top of that, I streamed for like 36 hours and there was like almost nobody. There was one person, and this person, she was there only because she knows me and she used to speak with me, like you and I are doing right now. But aside of that, there was like literally no one coming on my stream, and I was like streaming for, like I said, 30 plus 46 plus hours. So yeah, that was a ride, but a ride that really made me realize that on top of having a low quality, even if you make a lot of effort into something, if you don't have the right tools, if you don't have the right circumstances, you're not going to make it.
Oh no,
So
no,
yeah,
and you have to have a little bit of that luck too. You
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
know
There's also the
when
luck
you
aspect.
have
Yeah.
to know when to stream. When to type stuff to things here, and
Mm.
also you have to be very positive. You gotta think of that sort of thing.
Yeah, there's many factors of how you manage. Like I said, you have to manage between discussing, watching the text just on the screen of your PC. On the same time, you have to make sure you don't screw up when playing,
Yeah, you have
except
to
if
have
you.
two. You have to have like two. You have to have four eyes around watching both.
Yeah,
It could be a
I
bit
mean, I got 4 eyes. I had
frustrating.
glasses, so.
But
But
yeah,
yeah,
it can be a frustrating endeavor. So
it is something you need to get used to, and some people they cannot get used to. And I'm guessing that's why there are some people you see on Twitch, you see on YouTube. You have cases like to take um, renowned example. You have like cases like PewDiePie. He very renowned, and he managed to adapt himself to the whole popularity aspect and to be a decent guy overall. but that's not most people. Most people, when they stream or they get famous through YouTube and such, they
And
have
yeah,
trouble to cope with it, and that's a matter of getting used to it. And on top of that, uh, just to be someone who can do that in the first place, who wants to do it, not just for the sake of notoriety or money or whatever. But yeah.
again, it's luck and personality, and you're just like you hope that people, like you, and not only that, but also be like, okay, I'm going to be doing this thing, and hopefully people will.
Mm.
I can't get.
Oh yeah, yeah. You mean like I'm going to get this game and I'm going to gain some views and some people who are going to notice me.
Now
But
I've realized I'm not gonna get like the big ninja or all the stuff views, man, because
mm,
that's chasing that dragon, and let me tell you, that's not the fun thing to do. Because again,
well, I know.
it's gonna
I
lead you
think
to
a lot of us can empathize on that because we all want to take a little bit of to have a bit of spotlight. We want to gain something, but um, you cannot gain something without sacrificing something else. There's always a cause and effect, and there's always a cost and a gain. With a gain, there's a cost. I'm going to say it like that. You know, like you take shows like Full Metal Alchemist, who talks about this kind of stuff. It's easy to think it's kind of like fiction, and you're not
mm-hmm.
going to think it's going to apply to reality, but it's going to, because it's fiction relates. The fiction we make tend to relate a lot to the reality we're living in.
Fiction and
So yeah.
reality. It's a hard thing to.
Ooh,
Okay.
getting way too
Oh,
philosophical in there.
well,
We were
psychological
just-
and such. So,
Mm.
well, I don't care now. Screw it. Ah, it's tornado.
I mean, if you're going to go into the spikes, that's going to not be very efficient, but yeah. Because you
And
almost
suck
got.
up. And like, I like the fact this reminds me so much of like sucking at the bad guys. It's so much like reminds me a bit of uh, if you ever played uh, you ever play Ghostbusters? That reminds me so much of the Ghostbusters and
Wait, which Ghostbuster game? Because of what console? Because
the recent one. No, the Xbox 360 one.
I think I've seen some gameplay of it, yeah, in the past, like in the
By the
far
way, that
past.
was going to happen. The people originally were going to make it. They were actually wanted to do a third party. They were doing it like years ago. It's an interesting thing is that look in the history of some of these games, they were going to make like the people originally behind the Ghostbusters thing. They were going to do something else, which would have been
Mm.
cool. I would have loved seeing like a new IP based on Ghostbusters, like technology, the Ghostbusters thing. Because there is, you can look at that and say, "Oh my gosh, that's," you know, who doesn't want to play that type of game where you could be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm playing Ghostbusters and such." Pause right
Mm.
here, one quick second.
Yeah, the aspect of capturing enemies and such, yeah, it's I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't have games on top of my head. For I just reminded myself when we said that, you know how when you regenerate your health, it's interactive. You can do this by pushing by doing this voluntarily. It's not done automatically. Um, on one hand, it's actually something that some games done. Like you take, have you ever played Dying Light, for example?
No.
Because in Dying Light
Oh, I could have done
you
that.
have,
That's nice. Oh, just looking at some other things to take out the
yeah,
villains with.
mm. Well, yeah, but then you wouldn't have been able to capture the enemies, so it, it's uh it's kind of like with Infamous. If you choose to just destroy the enemies, or if you're going to take them one by one and capture them.
Yes.
It's that
Oh,
aspect.
now I'm outside the building. That's nice.
Yeah, but I'm guessing it was maybe like in the. Do you have the audio of the game? Because I don't have it, so I don't hear anything.
Uh, I do have I don't have Dying Light, by the way. I don't um
Because
the
I was guessing maybe that
you want
there
me to
were
stream?
hints. There were hints of dialogues that said maybe. Usually it's like this. Maybe it's not, but usually in those cases when you have to trigger something to make the big boss come out, there are some dialogues that hint to something the player can do in order to obtain the some kind of side side way that for gaining an easier time or to gain more experience or whatever through the main quest. Like I don't, for example, you have the Deus Ex game, just from that randomly, when you can choose how to approach a situation. I'm guessing maybe
Oh,
there was something like that with that situation with the boss not coming out except if you take out every enemy. Whoa, you're dying. Yeah. Um. Okay, so it's through the stamina of the character you recharge your life.
hmm.
That's
There's always a way, though. I always figure out there's a way. If not, I'll just use cheat online. But anyway, let's see what else I can do. I think I need to go up here to get a good clear shot.
yeah. The aspect of choice is we just are going mostly back to the aspect of choice and interactivity. Mm, that's the thing when you have most of the ways we do things with video games is through a controller or keyboard with buttons, basically.
I have no idea
But
how I get up there, which is weird.
I mean, you just took the.
Yeah, I'm trying to get into that. That's nice.
First off, you have to take them out. That's the thing.
Yeah, I
Maybe.
did. I did take them out, but I can't. I want to get up there so I can be like, okay, let me just capture them. But I just don't know how to get up to that.
Do you have
Camera. Oh,
like?
there you go, camera.
Is there a ladder? Oh crap! Yeah, the.
Ladders.
Hmm. Do you have one of your tools that affect the height of your jump? Like
No,
you
I
crouch,
do not. I do
you
not.
crouch and you make some kind of super jump or something.
No, no. No, I don't. Shame though. It would be nice to have that type of power. Oh,
It's more like something I thought on the moment because it's in Super Mario 64, for example, you can do that. I think. Yeah, you can like you crouch and you do some kind of backflip, a big backflip. Yeah, that was the first thing that came out. There's like many examples,
all right.
like
Let me get
Jack
back
and
down
Daxter.
here. Yeah, Jack and Daxter. These places. All right.
But I don't think
I can't get
that you
down to
have to
the.
capture them. I think you have to like take them out. You have to eliminate them. Eliminate them. 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 My
Yeah.
pronunciation is messing up.
Don't
Eliminate
worry.
them.
I can't pronounce anything either. So that's, you know, don't trust me.
Wait,
That
wait. You
is.
have. Oh, you have platforms. Wait. Look on the. I think you should like go on the
Oh,
upper
the upper length
on the walls.
there.
You have to go on the walls. On the walls. You have to use the wall for something.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Let's see. Can't go up here that
that's the
way.
best guess I have for because I don't see any other way to attain. Like go back. Maybe there's a way you.
Yeah, there's probably somewhere that I must have slipped up at, but there's always a way. You know,
Mm,
to quote Superman, there's always a way.
AKA the Jesus of America.
Okay, let me just go here. Watching a walkthrough, by the way, right now to see if
Yeah,
there's
sure.
actually a
I mean,
way to
sure,
get
go
through.
on, because me, I could, but one, my internet isn't the best, and I don't want to mess up.
No way.
And on top of that, well, I mean,
Okay.
it's
Oh,
up
I
to you.
think let me just go see what he do. The things here. Go up here. Da 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 da. Right. Okay, knocks him down. Okay. I think it's pretty much. Let me just look. Oh, all right. I just have to take him out. So that's what I gotta do. So I gotta go up
That's
there
what I
just to.
said. That's what I said. Maybe you should just take them out or
Yeah,
something.
looks like it is. So looks like gonna take this guy, take them down one by one.
But like, don't you? I don't know any of the tools you have in the game. Even though I tried the game on the Vita, but like there's so many games. I've accumulated so many games. Like there's Catherine coming out.
Oh, I am. I not. I never played Catherine, but I look at it. I'm like, I'm not into it. I'm like, there's some things
I
I'm just
can
not into.
It's understandable because in the first place it's more like a puzzle game. Gameplay wise, it's a mix of visual novel and puzzle game, but like puzzle survival game, and you
Got
have
it.
to
Bam.
think on the moment. It's really something you have to get behind, and most people are not going to get behind that kind of game, except if they really like the premise of Catherine. They are very interested into it.
Oh dear, this
But
guy's not happy.
um, my best guess is run, French way, run. But yeah, take cover and just shoot him afar, I guess, because you're going to get your health depleted like that. Yeah.
Oh, god dang it! I was gonna knock him into the thing, but you know.
Yeah, it didn't work out too bad.
Okay. Well, looks like I'm gonna be doing a little bit of the furry thing. Oh god dang it! Came out right behind me. Hey, he did something I would have done. Sometimes I just wish the AI was continue to be
I
stupid.
like how you stopped and you freeze, and there was a bullet just passing right beside you. That was fun.
All right, let's
Um,
see. Take
Maybe one of the insects you're using, he's weaker to it or something. Uh, the best, like I said, the best thing you should do is maybe, uh, well, like this it can work, but you're not going to measure what. Oh,
Oh,
okay, so
okay. I
you
think
make it.
I'm doing that.
So
I will
he
just
flees with this. Yeah,
right. Okay, I'll shoot.
trying to get killed like that.
And I
Uh,
got one punch. Not just got knocked me out, and now he's just teabagged me because why not?
mm,
Oh well, but
bon.
hey, anyway, let's get back into it. All right.
Well, yeah, that's
Oh
actually
no
something
no
I,
no 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 nope. Okay, let's get real. Let's get serious. Take the
mm.
health out.
I
And
think the best way to do it is like you make a loop combat.
oh goodness,
By that,
good job. Got nice shot there. And
I haven't seen it yet, so. But yeah, you. In the first place, he has a stamina bar, so my guess is that when he gets his stamina depleted,
ah,
he's easy to
yeah, that's
kill.
the thing. The stamina. That's always the thing. Oh, take.
Use the fur balls. I don't know how they are called. To make him like stunned and flee, or when you try to regenerate yourself, so that you can get a breather. Because
There.
he's
Thank you. That actually helped. Oh,
that's I think that's the main thing. You have to strategize with the tools you have. That's the main point of this boss. boss fights usually.
That is a nasty way to go. He
literally suicided himself.
Yeah, that's one way to take a guy out.
The thing is, you're not going to get the bonus of keeping him alive.
Oh well, but you know what? Sometimes you gotta take the good with the bad. You gotta take the you can't win all the time.
Honestly,
You're not undefeated.
not...
You're not gonna be. You're not gonna get every. You're not gonna win every match. Sometimes you gotta win by disqualification.
I mean, yeah, that's one way to get disqualified, getting yourself killed. I like to imagine there's a wrestling match or something, and you have disqualification of of the stranger because she died in his bathroom by slipping up on the soap. That's
Oh dear. Oh, water.
It would be really dumb.
It can swim. That's nice. And I always worry about this is an error though, ladies and gentlemen, is because I always worry because most platformers, well, swimming is not automatically, it's not automatic.
Yeah. For example, you have one game, in Dark Souls games, everything, water or whatever, is going to be the void. You're going to sink. Even if you're butt naked, you're going to sink like a rock. Don't know why, but you're going to sink. But then you have games like Sekiro. I mentioned that because it's also made by FromSoft, and you can swim in it. And the thing is, you have a lot of speedrunners who use swimming in order to break the game. So yeah,
I'm liking the fact is, but then I'm still waiting for that PS4 samurai game. You know what I'm talking about? Let's see, what was that?
PS4 simulator.
Okay, it was called, I believe, Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima, yeah.
Tsushima. Yes.
Like
I said, I can't pronounce anything.
Don't worry. That's you just need to get more and more exposed to stuff from other countries. And when you live in the US or Canada, it's not easier. I'm going to say like that.
Yeah, the English language and it's all stuff. But yeah, Ghost of Tsushima looks really good. That's one of the things that I might actually buy a PS4.
There's a new guy. There's a welcome Shenyon Go. Hey, you're not the only one who
Dragon Slayer. I think he's. Hey, what's up, Shin? A fellow person who has always been in like CCS for a while, and not only that, but also Black Shepherd Games, and also been on my
I remember. Oh crap, I haven't realized that. Yeah, welcome Shenyango. Glad to see you with us, even though you are not you're on the voice chat. Does he have the? If you want to join us, you go on the Discord server.
No. Well, if he wants to join us, it'd be nice. But if he doesn't, that's okay. Chat room is right there. That's all.
The Discord link is below.
Down below. So if he already is a part of the Discord, so he wants to join in. I'm going to hopefully get a little bit. In fact, the thing is, after this, I'm probably going to get some sleep and such. I'm about to head out. By the way. Because it's like it's almost midnight. And I did, and let's see, a good hour, and because hey, again, Shin, if you haven't known, I am putting Xenoblade Chronicles on a hiatus because I cannot. For whatever reason, the stream does not work. It is.
Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so
that is.
And I noticed because Shenyongu wasn't saying anything, so at first I was wondering.
But Shen, there will be no more. There will be no more Xenoblade games for a while until everything just gets sorted out. That's the plan.
There's a bit of optimization issues. He's been
through all that stuff. It's the optimization, and it again. I don't know what it is. Is it my Wii U? Is it this? That? Is it that? I don't know. But it just seems that there is something going on. But I hopefully get it fixed because I do love that game. I love the music of that game. I want to continue to play that game, and hopefully I will find. I'll be like, hey, it's like you're like, wow, I finally figured and fixed the game and such. So
Yeah, I want to make sure of something because that's might be a factor before we end up departing. First off, how long do you have that Wii U of yours?
oh yeah, I've been around for a while, and the thing is, I played many games and streamed on that before, and the Wii U has worked.
Yeah, so it's maybe you need to maybe dismantle it and and just dedust it because dust is like the enemy of any machines.
It probably
Anything.
is, and I'll probably do a deep clean of the Wii
Yeah.
U, and everything else seems to be doing just fine. So yeah, but well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to save the game here. Well, yeah, I'm playing this. Choose save location. Yes, the Xbox. Okay.
Because yeah, you can end
Yeah,
up
but one
having.
thing I would say about the original Xbox, it had a ton of room, and all this stuff here, man. Yeah, it does hate, but it does hate it. I don't know, but hopefully it will all be fixed soon because I want to finish that game. And if not, there's other things we can play. This, for example, I'll be playing this, and hopefully get done with that. And again, maybe it's a blessing in disguise because we get back to more sorter games and more games that we can have more fun with and less frustration and such. Because Xenoblade, I
Yeah.
love it, but it's long and it can be very frustrating. Yeah, so that's what it is with me. Anyway, yeah, it does make sense. If the OG Xbox had a lot of memory considering.
It's not even necessarily an aspect of memory. It's more like how long have you been using it consecutively? If you were, which of the consoles you were using the most?
I've been using that Wii U since let's see, Bayonetta 2 came out like in 2014. So yeah, but yeah, it's been a while. So it's been a
Yeah,
long
five
while.
years.
So well, 5 years.
For
So
example, you have my PS4. I have one of my PS4s that I plan to dismantle because it keeps heating up way too much compared to
oh
what
yeah,
it's supposed to.
PS3, all that type of stuff. Overheating has always been an issue.
But it's like I have it for like a couple of years, and I'm someone who plays the games a lot, and that's the thing. The way you use something, there's going to be a drawback, and sometimes you have to take care of it. Otherwise, it's going to die off very quickly and easily.
Yeah,
And I'm guessing that maybe your Wii U now catching up on that, and you
yeah,
need
but
maybe to
I will
dismantle it.
look.
And
I'm not that smart with it, but I'll probably get a new one and just transfer all the memory there. But
you
that's
can
in
do
the future.
you can
That's
do that too if you want, but I suggest really that you at least try to just check out a video because it sounds a bit insecure, I guess, to dismantle something. But when you look on videos on YouTube and inform yourself, you can see it's not that hard. You just have to
yeah.
be careful
YouTube
with the right tools.
is yeah. You could do it right. So then again, no, Nintendo doesn't give a crap about it. My warranty's already done anyway. So
Yeah,
so
yeah,
anyway, I will leave and yeah. But yeah, it's just yeah. Well, that's what happens. You gotta retool and rebuild, and that's what we're doing here in the live stream and all the stuff here. So thanks so much for being here. Thank you so much for Shindigo being here. Also, Idan, thank you so much for being here as well.
you're
Um,
welcome.
that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Duke CT here. Peace and love. I will see y'all when I see y'all next time, ladies and gentlemen. We are back into the world of Star Wars, and we'll finish off hopefully, um, Star Wars Starfighter. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks so much for being here. Any parting
Bye.
words? All right. Peace.